I would invite everybody to assent to the meeting recording request and go ahead and mute yourself if you haven't already done so. It's great to see so many people coming out. I certainly wish that I could see all of you in person. And don't worry, we will get to see each other in person, just unfortunately not tonight. The rabbis say that Shabbat is a taste of the world to come, a little slice of paradise. If so, I guess the world to come is very rainy, or at least this week. But hopefully next week will be even nicer. We'll have plenty of time this summer to get acquainted, see each other on the green. Maybe I'll meet you on the beach at some point. Who knows? And it's certainly a great honor to be here with you for my first Shabbat service. I'll be sharing a few words later in the service about beginnings and saying shalom. And as we go along the service, I hope that you'll feel free to participate, even in this modified Zoom setting that we've become more used to over the past year. So as we begin and we prepare to sing a song of gathering, I would invite you to share in the chat one highlight of your week, or just to wish Shabbat Shalom to everyone else who's here. So highlight of your week, or something that you're looking forward to this weekend, because it is the holiday weekend, or just to share a wish for Shabbat Shalom for our community, for everybody gathered here tonight. It's great to have your participation in the chat. And we know that we will be singing and praying together as one, even though we are all in different places, different homes. So in that line of thinking, we'll begin with a song of gathering. Page 2, if you have your summer handout that we shared today in the email and in the shofar blast. And we'll also throughout the service share some of the words in slides on the screen.
Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Isn't it so wonderful to be together with friends, with family? That's the message of the psalmist, and it is absolutely the purpose of Shabbat. I now am so happy to invite to light the candles Karen Goldberg and Marlene Schwartz. I think everybody knows at this point that these two wonderful leaders have been working so hard over the past year to make this transition a successful one. And we owe them a great debt of gratitude. So it's absolutely the least we can do to honor them by lighting the Shabbat candles this evening. So Marlene, Karen, we'll pass it over to you.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Marlene. So good to see you. And as we continue in our service together, we enter Kabbalat Shabbat, the welcoming of Shabbat, the presence into our homes and into our hearts, into our lives, that sense of unity, of longing for something that has been missing, animates the entire Shabbat service. It's the yearning of the Kabbalists in Sfat who created these beautiful poems, who felt sometimes that God was far away and they needed a little help to bring God near. So at this time, as we come to the end of this week, I invite us all to meditate on one thing that has felt a little lacking, where one center of our lives that feels like maybe it could come into being if we only make it so. One thing that we can actualize in our lives that will feed us, nurture us, bring us near together to those we love and to our more perfect selves. That is the meditation that I invite us to carry into our hearts as we together sing Lecha Dodi, page 3.
Lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela. Shamor v'zahor v'dibor echad, yishmi anu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem el tiferet v'leit tefila la 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 lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, Kihi mekor hamiracha, merosh mikarem nesocha, Zot ma'aseh v'machshavat tefila la 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 lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela. Hitorevi, hitorevi, miva orech u'miori, ori ori shir tameri, kevar Adonai alay, la 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 lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela. Boi v'shalom, ateret balan, gam besimcha u'sola, toch amonei am segula. Boi chalam, la 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 lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likat likat kala, b'nei patay Shabbat likabela.
Wow, I have to say that I am so enjoying seeing all of these messages coming into the chat. Messages from many of the members of our search committee and our board and our executive committee, and all of you who are here to build community and enjoy a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend. It's so wonderful to see everybody here, and I can't wait until we actually get to see each other face to face. That is coming soon, I promise. In the meantime, we'll continue with our service with the call to worship, Baruch Hu. If it's comfortable at this time, we invite you to please rise where you are. Service continues following the path of the sun as it begins to set. Page 4. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, creator of the tide of time. You guide the current of day into night, creating this moment of change in which stars flow through the heavens. We ride your wave of transformation, away from work and struggle, toward you and your holiness. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. And for Torah, Adonai, when you gave us Torah, you revealed your love and compassion for us. Your Torah teachings guide us toward holiness and justice. What greater gift might we receive than Torah, the heart of our lives? It is in our love of you that we strive to be holy people. Praise to you, Adonai, who expresses love of Israel through words of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Join together in Shema.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to live. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
If you're still standing, you can feel free to have a seat as we continue with the Ahavta on page 5.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Meshinantam levadnecha, v'dibartam bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, ushokbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Amen. One of the powerful things about Jewish tradition is that our stories speak to a particular time and place, but speak beyond them to every time and place, to our time and place. And that is why it's so powerful when we tell the story of our liberation, of our people's escape to freedom, that we think too of how their experience might inform ours. And we read, standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. And along that path, during that march, our voices rise together in the song of our freedom, Micha Mocha, page 6.
So I realize the spotlight is on me for a reason. So as you might realize, today is our first Friday Shabbat of the month, and I also just want to say welcome to Rabbi Moss. It is a pleasure to be sharing this virtual bima with you to next week in person, hopefully, and to better weather ahead. But given that it is the first Friday of the month, we are going to be doing some birthday blessings tonight. And I am going to switch to gallery so I can see all of you. So if you have a birthday this month, in the month of July, could you raise your hand so we could wish you a happy birthday tonight? Bruce, great. Bruce, when is your birthday?
15th of July.
15th of July. Very nice. Happy birthday to Bruce. I know Jody has a birthday.
I do. This Sunday, July 4th.
Happy birthday. So
Thank you, everybody.
yeah. And I'm going to scroll through. Is there anybody else? You might have to unmute so I can see you since I can't see everybody at once. Is there anybody else who has a July birthday? Naomi, yes. Oh, I didn't quite catch that. When is your birthday? Naomi, I'm not sure if we can hear you, but if you want to put your birthday in the chat so we know when it is, and we all wish you a happy birthday. Carol, when is your birthday?
July 7th.
July 7th, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Yes. And July 16th. All right. Great, lots of July birthdays. Anybody else who has a birthday that we've missed?
Shari has a birthday.
Shari has a birthday. Shari, when's your birthday?
July 1st.
Happy birthday. So yes, yesterday, right, was your birthday?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
10.
10. Very happy 10th birthday to you, Shari. Did you have a birthday party?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, but hopefully soon, a birthday party to celebrate your 10th birthday. Very special. Those double digits. And I don't know if there's anybody else who has a July birthday. If there's anybody we've missed, speak up now so that we know.
I think
Otherwise-
Donna's name is in the chat. Donna Fettis.
Donna's name is in the chat. Great. Donna Fettis. Okay, great. So Donna, if you're here, happy birthday to you. And Laura and Sandy, I see you've raised a hand as well. If you want to unmute and share with us when your birthday is. Can't turn on. Oh, Donna can't turn hers on at the moment, but we wish her a happy birthday. All right. So we wish all of our July birthdays a very happy birthday. We also have a special birthday. The Rabinovich family, we did a baby naming for them this morning. Precious Gali Rabinovich will be turning 1 at the end of July, so we send them happy birthday as well. So we all sing together. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
All right. Happy birthday. And if you happen to have forgotten that it's your birthday in July and you remember later, you can tell us too. And it's also probably a good time to start making plans. Okay. All right. We'll continue in our service with this reminder from the Torah on page 7. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign between me and the people of Israel, says God. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day God ceased from work and was refreshed. And we too cease from work and are refreshed on this beautiful day called Shabbat. And so we sing together Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat
Seeing as it is July 4th weekend, I wanted to share just a word about the idea of founding fathers and founding mothers. This is something that the American story and the Jewish story has in common. Those people who built something long ago that led to us being here today. In the case of the American story, we think to those founders, the Federalist Papers, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, our first presidents, all of the great builders of this country. When it comes to the Jewish story, we think of our ancestors, whom we mention in the Amidah: Abraham, Sarah, Jacob, Isaac, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. These are people who our foundational stories teach us about and whose life example we hope to learn something about. But just like we have in our foundational literature in America, that we are always in search of a more perfect union, that we have the right to pursue happiness, but not automatic happiness. We know that we inherit from our tradition, from our ancestors in America, from our ancestors in Judaism, both their character and their folly, both their wisdom and their mistakes. And so a chance to reflect on all that is beautiful in this country, and all that is beautiful in Judaism, and all that is still yet to be built, to be achieved for our country, for our neshama, for our Jewish soul. It's a chance to reflect on all that we are grateful for and all that we hope to build in the memory and by the merit of our ancestors. And so with those words in our minds, we rise together, if it is comfortable to do so, and continue with our Amidah, which in the packet can be found on page 7 at the bottom.
Adonai sefatai tiftach uvi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot Be'imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mori Atah, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Ve'Rofeh Cholim, Umati Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishadnei Hafai, Micha Mocha B'Givorot, Umidom Elach, Melech Meimit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence like lightning illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. We invite you all now into a moment of silent prayer to contemplate, perhaps following those words of Jacob's realization, a moment of holiness that you experienced this week, a moment that elicited awe or wonder. And you can now think back, how full of awe, how full of God is this place that we do not always know it. A moment of silence. Dear friends, if you had to think of the most famous Jewish word there is, what would it be? Who can put it in the chat as quickly as you can? What is the most famous Jewish? Oi. I love that you went to oi. Oh, man. Actually, it's interesting. There is some disagreement here. But I think so far, the limited consensus is that the most commonly known Jewish word is shalom. I've had people come up on the street and say shalom to me. People who I don't know if they are Jewish or not. It's just sort of a universal word that people know about Judaism. What a gift it is to finally say shalom to one another for the first time tonight as your rabbi. Now, when I was a child, my Hebrew school teachers taught us that shalom means three things: hello, goodbye, and peace. Raise your hand if you've heard that. Or if, okay, put down your hand. Raise your hand if you've taught that. Yeah, it's a commonly discussed idea. But technically, shalom only means one thing. It means peace. Its Hebrew root, shin lamed mem, alludes to completeness or fulfillment. Or on a more transactional level, we could go to the modern Hebrew, lishalem, which means to pay for something, to make someone whole, as it were. Get it? Or there's a different verb construct that has the word lehashlim. Do you feel the connection there? Lehashlim, leshalem, shalom. Lehashlim is to complete something. And so when we say shalom, we are not saying hello or goodbye per se, but rather wishing each other peace upon arrival or along the journey soon undertaken. Peace. That strikes me as so Jewish. Our liturgy too is full of prayers for shalom. We pray for peace at night. We pray for peace during the day, different prayers after the Amidah, Sim Shalom and Shalom Rav. We pray for peace whenever we finish a meal or go on a trip. On Friday night, we welcome the angels of peace. Some of us sing that around our dinner table. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet. Peace be upon you, O ministering angels. Bless us with peace. Barchuni l'shalom. Seitchem l'shalom. Be blessed as you go. Be blessed as you come. So big arrivals and departures, says Judaism, need shalom. They tend to elicit big feelings. This is such a time of transition, as I don't have to tell you, for Temple Beth Tikvah. Now, it's only natural to feel some sadness at Rabbi Offner's departure, and even perhaps some apprehension about what lays ahead. Confusingly, though, those feelings can coexist with lots of excitement and optimism. Sometimes transitions like this can be so overwhelming because the different feeling energies in our minds are talking almost against each other at the same time. It can be a little overwhelming. In her remarks last week, Rabbi Offner referred to the concept of liminality, that idea of being betwixt and between. It comes from the Latin root word limen, which means doorpost. Cultural theorist Claude Lévi-Strauss coined the term to refer to a rite of passage such as a bar or bat mitzvah. In every rite of passage, he says, there is a before status, like being a child, and an after status, like being a young adult, recognized by the community with more responsibility. Of course, from the beginning status to the end status, there is also a time in between, a time out of time, where one is passing through a doorway of identity. It can be a time of danger. It can be a little scary and uncertain and awkward, as I'm sure all of you have had B'nai Mitzvah students who have gone through B'nai Mitzvah know. It can be a little daunting to pass through that doorway, which is perhaps why we Jews put a mezuzah on our doorpost, our own magical amulet, as it were. The great anthropologist Victor Turner took this idea of liminality from Claude Lévi-Strauss, and he expanded the idea further. He said that not only does the liminal exist, but also the liminoid, the somewhat liminal moments, not just during rites of passage, like a major milestone birthday or a wedding or a bar mitzvah or a quinceañera or any of the other many rites of passage we can mention. Major transitions also include this liminal energy. They're often exhilarating, and often, as I said, they're a little scary. My image for a moment like this is Indiana Jones. I was talking about Indiana Jones with Cantor earlier, and I promised I would include it in the sermon. So who remembers that scene? I think it's in The Last Crusade, where he has to go through the various trials at the end of the movie, and he has to take a big step onto a very narrow ledge in a gorge of a mountain that looks like he's about to fall off because the bridge blends perfectly into the wall on the other side of the chasm. If you don't know what I'm talking about or you're lost, I apologize, but just imagine taking a big step when you can't see what you're stepping on. He hasn't seen the bridge in the movie because it is so perfectly camouflaged. He just has to trust that it's there. In liminal times, passing through the doorway can feel like that. It can feel like a great leap of faith. So tonight, as I address you for the first time as your rabbi, I wanted to thank you for taking that leap of faith together with me. It's a tremendous privilege to have received not only your vote of confidence, but also your trust. I say the same to my colleagues, to Bonnie, Kim, Jen, to Cantor Boyle, to our wonderful lay leaders, so many of whom are here tonight. Reaching this moment together, it's exhilarating, and I feel so humbled by the confidence you've invested in me. Modeh ani, I am so very grateful. And as I alluded to before, I want to acknowledge that this liminal period may elicit challenging feelings sometimes. They might come up unexpectedly for us. It's not easy to bid farewell to a beloved rabbi. You might feel a little bit uncertain about me because we do not yet know each other. I might have irked you already in this service by deviating somehow from a beloved custom, or saying the wrong thing, or mispronouncing someone's name, or simply by being new and different. If I did any of those things, and let's face it, I've probably done all of those things, please know that I intended no hurt, and that I am not hurt or offended in any way if you are experiencing difficulty seeing me as your rabbi. I am your rabbi, but I don't yet feel like your rabbi. You are the congregation I am privileged to lead, but we need to work together to get to the point where that is real. That's what we mean by liminal. On the plus side, liminality is the mother of creativity. This is a time to think of all we can accomplish together, to begin charting a course for the future. A new chapter for TBT begins tonight, and I am so excited for all that lies ahead. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you, each and every family in our congregation. And shameless plug, I hope you will sign up for one of the many gathering opportunities that our transition task force has put together. The information is in your email and your shofar and shofar blast. And there's still room in many of the online and in-person offerings. Some are at night, some are on weekends, some are during the day. Hopefully you'll find one that works for you. And a special note of appreciation to the many of you who are actually opening your homes to host these events. What a gracious gesture of welcome. In big transitions, it can sometimes feel that something has broken away. I once learned that all change means loss. Even good change means loss. And all loss brings sadness. In the liminal, for a time, before arriving on the other side of that limin, of that doorway, we feel that the pieces are not yet all in place. That is why we wish each other shalom, completeness, wholeness, upon our comings and goings, our arrivals and departures. So at this time of arrival, I hope we can wish each other a deep shalom. I'm not just saying Shabbat shalom. I think you understand maybe now something deeper of what I mean when I wish you a Shabbat shalom. It's a wish for a new sense of purpose and peace. We walk across this threshold now together, preparing to start a new adventure. And I could not be more thrilled to be on that adventure with all of you. So please hear me deeply when I say Shabbat Shalom. And now we turn in our hearts to those who are in need of healing within our community, those in search of that deep shalom, that sense of wholeness and peace. I'll first share the names of those known to our community. Our temple members who are in need of healing include Josh Lipschitz, Carol Gordon, April D'Amato, Karen Flatley, Tom Louie, Norma Diamond, and Henry Gettenberg. Loved ones known to our community include Patty Hayes, Harriet Cohen Haggerty, Jay Fliss, Andrea Schaffner, Jennifer Murphy, Helen Dreyfus, Ben Peck, Mark and Martha Potter, Sandy Spector, Gloria Newell, Georgia Jennings, Celeste Hawks, Sabine Meyer, Steve Wasserman, Danita Semple, Joan Sidney, David Char, Amelia Sidney, Amy Fissell, Devorah Shlamit, Deborah Poulin, Samuel and Gail Feitelberg, Ira Weiss, Marielle Sheepers, Betsy Paceris Ross, and Rabbi Shlomo Naginsky. I do apologize if I've mispronounced anyone's name, and I hope you'll feel free to correct my pronunciation when we see one another. If there are others who you're praying for their shlemut, their peace and renewal of body, mind, or spirit, please do add them to the chat at this time if you wish, and I'll read them aloud. We think of Eric Steinberg Goldberg, Mikhail Levin, Teddy Palladino, Sally Catrill, Ellsworth Matthias, Uncle Alvin Rudorfer, Connie Ambrosino, the Irenzi family, J and K. And if there are others who you'd like to add to the chat, please know that we will see their name, that our prayers together will ascend for their healing. Mishaberach Avotenu v'imotenu, may the one who blessed our ancestors in time gone by bring the blessings to us of peace, of comfort, of strength. May God steady the hand of every caregiver, every physician and therapist. May God steel the nerves of all those who are caring for those they love and bring us to a sense of strength and healing together as we join in these words of Mishaberach. It weighs on our hearts to know that our world is full of suffering and imperfection. And so when we arrive toward the conclusion of our service, we look toward a world of renewal, a world of God's domain, where peace and harmony and togetherness shall rule. We rise for Aleinu on page 11.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gerula leyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
right. Stu, are you standing by? I believe you're up for announcements.
Okay, I'm standing by. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Stu Weinzimmer, and I currently serve on the Board of Directors as Secretary and Director of Religious Activities. A warm welcome to all guests here with us tonight, and especially warm welcome to Rabbi Moss and Rabbi Landau Moss. Tomorrow, join us for Jewish mindfulness and meditation at 8 a.m., followed by Torah study at 9 a.m. Rabbi Moss is first at TBT, although actually it's your second, but it's your first as our rabbi. Links are in your inbox. Next Friday, July 9th, Shabbat services will be on the Madison Green, weather permitting, in front of the First Congregational Church at 6 p.m. And next Sunday, all of the TBT women are invited to the Kol Ami barbecue at 3 p.m. The invite and the address are in your inbox. Shabbat Shalom and enjoy the holiday.
Thank you very much, Stu. And it's such an exciting time of summer. Things are a little bit quieter. Hopefully, many of us are enjoying some vacation and some time off. So I hope that when you're in town, we'll be able to see you in person. Fingers crossed for an in-person service in Oneg next week. But of course, keep your eye on your inbox because, you know, we plan and God plans better. So, okay. So now, as we turn in our service to a moment of memory, we'll have an opportunity to recognize those loved ones who have passed away, but whose memories stay with us bright as the burning flame of the candle. So I'd like to recognize first those in the period of Shaloshim, including Nancy Ashpiro, who passed away, cousin of Jill Lesage. Ruth Loeb Forrest, mother of Susan Forrest. And if there's anybody else who is observing Shaloshim who we didn't know about, feel free to make yourselves known at this time if you wish. And those remembering a loved one who passed away this season in years past, for the Yahrzeit remembrance, we remember Francis Bookbinder, Joan and Murray Geffen, Bluma Kors, Leo Siskin, Freddie Feingood, Riva Tischler, Hal Lipper, Isidore Grable, Charlotte Jacoby Oremlind, Alan Rim Kaufman. And also we think tonight of all of those who have passed away as a part of the horrible tragedy of that building collapse in Surfside, Florida, including many members of the Jewish community. They are in our hearts this evening. If there's anyone else who has come to say Kaddish for a loved one and you'd like to share their name in the chat, feel free to do so at this time. We hold the names of those mentioned and those unmentioned, all those who lie in unmarked graves, all the martyrs of our people, together as we remember and honor them through these words of Mourner's Kaddish. We invite you to please rise if it is comfortable. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach yire'ute v'yamlich malchute. V'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'le'almei almaya. Yitparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru. Amen. May the one who brings peace into our world bring peace also into the hearts of all who are bereaved. As we hold them close together, we say, Amen.
Say shalom bimromal, say shalom. Aleinu ve'kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, Amen.
Well, it's very difficult to say in words just how special it's been to share this evening with you. Even though we couldn't be in person, I felt the warmth and the community spirit through our Zoom space. And I look forward to seeing all of you in weeks to come, hopefully beginning next week. Because it is a holiday weekend. We have a special holiday related melody that I dare say you might find familiar. So Cantor, I know that we're all excited to hear what that is.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking a ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me a golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'Terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, V'Eit Nasa, V'Hafso Kol, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Friends, be blessed as you come in peace, and be blessed as you go in peace. Tzedchem l'shalom, uvoachem l'shalom. May shalom be our gift, and may we all enjoy a Shabbat shalom.